Friends, these days we see there's more aggression in children. Therefore, parenting becomes an art. How many of us are ready to communicate with our child? Especially for the young children, because they look up to parents. Therefore, modeling good behavior in a child means developing good behavior by the parent himself, herself. Therefore, thinking of solutions together or letting children communicate their anxieties, their worries is really what matters. At times, even parents fail to control their anger and they resort to wrong methods of parenting that has ramifications in itself. Therefore, as I said, modeling good behavior is what matters, and teaching problem solving skills to them and understanding literally why a child is angry is really what matters at the end of the day. Because listening to the child without creating that bossism, without creating that power relation between the child and the parent, though creating or maintaining necessary boundaries is important, but listening to and diagnosing the source of aggression of a child is equally important. Children are angry, children have their anxieties, and when they turn into adolescents, these anxieties increase. We do understand that all. But listening to the child and, as I said, growing along with the child, developing that patience and maturity along with the growing child is the job of the parent today. Because parenting is complex, and with the change in times, advent of modernity, it has its new facets, features and problems as well. And let us give up the traditional method. Let's understand children. If you understand your child, if you let him solve his her own problems, if you give them the required freedom, if you provide them solutions, that autonomy to have solutions, and if you really develop that communication between a parent and a child, then you are a positive parent. Then that culminates into positive parenting. Otherwise, we get to see parents who get more angry when they encounter an aggressive child at home. This should not be the strategy at all, because this leads to more harm than any solution. Therefore, modeling good behavior in a child means modeling yourself first as a parent. And children look up to us as parents, they look up to you. And therefore, what you do, how you communicate, and the manners, the articulation, the use of good language, the use of good traits, developing those rich family values and traits, these are all absorbed by children. Therefore, parenting somehow becomes indirect and automatic. It is not what you say, it's what you do at times what turns your child into a good child or a bad child or an angry child. Therefore, help yourself while you are a parent by developing more and more good skills, traits, and that is the solution, friends. That is the real solution of the problem. When you start communicating and communicating good, when you start listening to the child, when you create those necessary boundaries but never discriminate when it comes to love and warmth. That love and warmth should be there. That inculcation of good behavior should be there. That solving problems together and involving your child in solving those problems is what's needed in today's parenting. Off and on, newspapers try, or columnists give us a lot of parenting tips, but I as far as I have understood this whole exercise, I think this is not a rocket science. As a parent, experiment every day with your child, experiment with your own self, try to grow as a parent, not to see just your child growing and you being at too static. You too need that dynamism as a parent while your child is growing. Therefore, grow up with your children, understand their anxieties, understand their pressures, understand their changing stages, understand their adolescence, understand their youth. That is the solution. Therefore, we have to lot many ramifications in families wherein we see children more aggressive, wherein we see non-conforming children, wherein we see children bunking classes and loitering and roaming around in public parks, wherein we see children developing many harmful bad traits that bring bad name to the family. In fact, therefore, if this process starts now when your child is too young, too little, this is a two-way process. Simple and shortcut. Grow up with your child. Keep changing yourself. Keep experimenting with your own parenting skills and evaluate yourself as a parent. That's what's more important. If you think you are the best parent, you may not be. It may be a bigger confusion that can lead to a much bigger disaster as far as the socialization of your child is concerned. Therefore, when children look up to you, you have to remind the fact that you have to be the best. You have to be their role model. And when you communicate better. Communicate using more good words, good values that can give your children, your child, lot many good traits which can effectively convert him into a conforming, a well-behaved child. Thank you so much. God bless you all.